partners. Yeah, I said that. Welcome to the Mountain West Championship game between the Aztecs of San Diego State and, of course, the Cowboys of Wyoming.
It's great to see you two city slickers on a horse. You look like Billy Crystal. I mean,
Thank you.
This should be a great game between these two teams. 2 weeks ago, a 34-33 thriller.
Donnel Pumphrey, great running back prospect. Don't know if I'm more excited to see him or to get off this horse, which, by the way, is now starting to move.
You should see what the horse is doing behind you. With McShay and Tex, I'm Levy. Saddle up with us for the next 3.5 hours. It's going to be great.
That was great.
All week it's been hashtag Pack the War. And here come the Cowboys of Wyoming. Their perfect home regular season for the first time in some 20 years. Now trying to win a conference title outright for the first time since 1988. And the visitors are the Aztecs of San Diego, who are trying to win the conference title for a second consecutive year, third in 5 years, trying to win a 21st conference title in school history. Let's get this out of the way right now. It's a little chilly, not gonna lie to you. We've got it at 18 degrees, 10-mile-per-hour winds, and I don't want to hear anything from the kids from San Diego State. If they would have won a week ago, this game could be played there, where it is currently 60 degrees. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at the War Memorial, and I can't believe you made me wear this crease.
Yes, you look great.
Yeah, you fit right in, and I look ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Before we go any further,
Oh, really?
we gotta get the hat on the right way. I mean, come on, let's do it right.
You set me up so bad. This is the biggest home game for Wyoming in their 120-year history as championship Saturday continues on. For the Mountain West Championship game, it is the top-ranked offense against the top-ranked defense. The oddity here is these two teams played right here just 2 weeks ago. Wyoming was able to win by a single point in a thriller.
It was a great game, 34-33. Both teams went back and forth. Came down to a 2-point play. Antonio Hull was able to knock it down, and Wyoming got the win.
How ridiculous do I really look right now?
You look good. I mean, from Long Island to Laramie, I think he looks pretty good, don't you?
Aren't you from South Florida? What is going on? Donnel Pumphrey is clearly the big star here. He told us yesterday, each of the last 2 weeks, he thought about the Heisman, thought about the trip to New York. He failed to break 100 yards in either of those two games. He's no longer thinking about the Heisman.
Well, certainly he's going to, as San Diego State goes, so goes Donnel Pumphrey. He's got to have a big game. He has to get yards in between the tackles. We know he's a good player outside the tackles, but Steve, the only player in the history of college football with 5,000 yards rushing and over 1,000 yards receiving. Most people sleep on this skill right here, out of the backfield, making guys miss. They're going to be a plan. 8, 9, sometimes 10 guys in the box for Wyoming defensively, but Donnel Pumphrey, an opportunity. Only 218 yards away from Ron Dane as the all-time leader. An opportunity tonight in a big game.
Yeah, and Ron Dane isn't happy about that, by the way, because they didn't include his bowl games. Meanwhile, as for the home team, Wyoming, they've got an outstanding running back themselves in Brian Hill. He's the 4th leading rusher in the nation. And Todd McShay, they've got a quarterback who can do everything except maybe keep those feet warm.
No one's going to keep their feet warm. I can't even talk, I'm so cold down here. But Josh Allen, I think, is probably the quarterback with the most talent in the country that nobody really knows about. Started watching tape on him this week and could not believe the skill set. Reminded me a lot of a young Joe Flacco. He's tall at 6'5". He's got good size at 222 pounds, and what I love is the ability to shed defenders and make plays on the move. He creates, he extends. Coaches don't always love this decision, but now they do. Look at that arm throwing out of bounds basically across his body in the middle of the field. Then, while he's got to work on some of his touch throws, this is a classic cover 2 beater down the sideline. He just laser shows it in. This guy's fun to watch. I think he could have the biggest impact on this game depending on how he plays for Wyoming tonight.
Expedia reminds you we are here at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming for tonight's 2016 Mountain West Football Championship game. And no place we'd rather be. And here we go, we're underway. Cooper Roth puts it in the air. Rashad Petty, who returned the opening kickoff for a score 2 weeks ago, will take a knee in the end zone. And we'll see the San Diego State offense first and their quarterback, Christian Chapman.
Yeah, Christian Chapman's been efficient this season. He needs to take some pressure off of Donnel Pumphrey in this game with this play-action pass. You can also take pressure off of back, Steve, by being 100% on your run checks, which means getting the ideal look for Pumphrey in the running game, not running towards blitzing situations or down safeties. And then he needs to make 2 or 3 or 4 plays with his feet on third downs to sustain drives.
Open up at the 25, and he opens under center. And he'll throw on first down. Chapman will take a shot down the field, and it's knocked away. Look for Micah Holder. Excellent coverage by Rico Gafford, but the Aztecs come out firing.
Yeah, great job by Gafford. This ball is perfectly thrown from Christian Chapman. Micah Holder is most reliable receiver. That's right where you want it. But Gafford just comes up with that right hand at the very end. Exactly how the defensive backs are taught. When that ball is in the hands, punch at it.
Reese, quick strategy question. San Diego State won the toss. Didn't want to put the top-ranked defense out there. They wanted the football to start. Is that a surprise?
Yeah, a little bit surprised. It is.
Second down and 10. Now they give it to Pumphrey. First carry. And he runs right up the middle. Stopped by Marcus Epps. As we take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
You know, maybe the only thing I can think about with Rocky Long is he wanted to get his 2 best players on the field, Donnel Pumphrey and Rashad Penny. Both of these running backs are outstanding. Lucas Walker, the most reliable linebacker. It's worth noting that Wyoming defensively tonight will be playing without their senior leader, DJ May, who was the best linebacker to match up with the speed of Donnel Pumphrey.
And don't be surprised to watch Pumphrey run inside the tackles. He is not a guy who just turns the corner. Nick Bawden is now the fullback to his left. They split out Pumphrey, and they throw out to the left to David Wells. Able to complete. He's short of the first down marker. And this has a championship game kind of feel, and there's the extracurricular, and a flag goes to the air.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 88, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's David Wells, the tight end.
He caught the ball. I think he's going to catch some grief.
Well, he gets hit, and he didn't like the way he got hit on the outside. They came up to jab at him, jar at him, and he takes his helmet right at the, that's Marcus Epps. That's a good call by the official.
And that, you got to be encouraged if you're a Wyoming fan just because of the tackling. It's so important against Donnel Pumphrey and this entire San Diego State team. You've got to be able to tackle in the open field. That 2nd and 3rd down, great tackles to put San Diego State in this position.
That's a great point, Todd, because the last 2 games, the 2 games that sandwiched this, the last game against San Diego State, Wyoming gave up 1,343 yards and 16 touchdowns to UNLV in New Mexico. They got to come out and get some confidence early.
So instead of 4th and 1, it's 4th and 16, and Tanner Blaine will punt it away. And Austin Conway will call for the fair catch, but the Cowboys will start with excellent field position after the punt of just 38 yards. We talked about Josh Allen in the open. He's got high level of potential.
Well, it's kind of a surprise watching him on tape how physically gifted he is. I think he's, as Todd showed you, he walks the fine line between big plays and turnovers. 23 touchdowns, but 11 interceptions on the year. He's got to be better in that area. But, you know, I think he's one of the guys that people around college football haven't seen Josh Allen. You're going to see tonight a quarterback that can make every single throw, and that's faster than you think at that size.
Your eyes got big watching him in warm-ups, too. Those deep throws to the end zone. Allen fakes to Hill. Good pocket around him. Easy pitch and catch to Tanner Gentry. And he's forced out by Ron Smith.
Levy, that looks easy, but it's not. I mean, the way he can get behind his throws and drive the ball, it's effortless. I mean, this guy has a special arm, Brian.
Yeah, I was really jealous watching him on Thursday night. You know, the cold doesn't affect him. What you'll notice is his hand is so large, doesn't have any issue with the grip on the ball. Even though it's cold and dry, the ball can get slippery. And then he's got long leverage, so he just effortless throwing the football.
6 minutes in, we have our first down. And that'll go as an incomplete pass. 4 penalties, 3 punts, and 1 first down as Gentry took a beating there from DeMonte Casey.
Yeah, this would have been a completion to Gentry if it weren't for Casey coming up and putting a helmet on the football.
That's what Casey does so well. He plays a lot of zone coverage, reads the quarterback's eyes, gets an early jump, and he is physical for his size at that cornerback position.
He is the two-time consecutive Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. We'll watch for him all night. 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Play fake to Hill. Allen wanted to show off that speed. He'll only get one, but you could see the quick acceleration out of the pocket and out of the trouble and into Alex Barrett's hands.
I really felt the difference in the game that they played 2 weeks ago with San Diego State was not ready for the athletic ability of Josh Allen. He's so quick. Even though he's 6'5", 230 pounds, he can run faster than any of the linebackers for San Diego State. So the adjustment for Rocky Long to keep him in the pocket, constrict that pocket, great job there on a 2nd and long.
Calvin Munson admitted it. They got caught off guard. They did not expect him to be as fast as he was. Here's 3rd and 8. Pressure from the outside. He was hit as he throws. Jay Henderson rushed Allen into that throw to bring up a 4th down.
That's Jay Henderson, their junior linebacker, who they love to play on the outside. Rocky Long is a pressure defensive coordinator. He's going to bring 3 linebackers, and Jay Henderson is the one that's unblocked, and a young quarterback. Josh Allen's talented, but he's still inexperienced in his first year as a full-time starter. Never saw him coming.
Here's Cooper Roth on for a 46-yard attempt. Kick is on the way. Off the crossbar and through. Had just enough.
There's never a doubt on that one.
Never, really? Like what Cooper had to say. He ties his career high with a 46-yard field goal. 46 yards and an inch. And good enough for our first points. Wyoming leading the Mountain West championship game 3-0.
So the biggest question all week for Rocky Long has been, are you going to go for 2 in that situation again? Do you have more plays dialed up? Rocky Long held it. Said, no, we got the same amount of plays.
He's going for the win. I like it. Juwan Washington gets his first carry of the game. Lucas Waka makes the stop.
3 backs we'll see for San Diego State. Juwan Washington and Rashard Perry, who both had kickoff return touchdowns in this game 2 weeks ago. And then obviously Donnel Pumphrey. But so far, 2 kickoffs for Wyoming. Both of them have been touchbacks. That was a big area of concern for head coach Craig Bohl. So far, so good.
2nd and 17. Chapman under pressure, throw it back to Pierce's body. It's tipped in the air and intercepted. Intercepted by Sidney Malaulu.
There was question whether Malaulu would even play in this game with the foot injury. Didn't practice much at all this week. Recognizes a screen. Look at the athletic ability. He's their biggest defensive lineman, 6'3", 301 pounds from Seoul, South Korea, and he makes the biggest play of the game so far.
Looked like a center getting an entry pass. I mean, he tipped it up to himself. Soft hands for the big guy.
Waka and Prosser had the pressure. That leads to our first turnover of the game. And the Cowboys look to be in business at the San Diego State 17. Handoff to Brian Hill. Just across the line of scrimmage, Jay Henderson, his 2nd tackle of this young game.
And that's such a big play for Malaulu because the thinnest part of this Wyoming team is the defensive line. They're playing without 2 of their starters. Chase Appleby, a senior who was a captain, not playing in this game because of a knee injury, and Carl Granderson. So they're very thin on that defensive line. Malaulu makes a huge play.
2nd down and 9. Give it to Hill, able to squeeze through for a few. Still brings up a 3rd and long. And if you're the Cowboys, you don't want to settle for a field goal here after that turnover.
No, in this situation, 3rd and medium, is where they love to spread defenses out. Craig Bohl realizes that Rocky Long's going to probably bring pressure. They love to go empty sets, and in those cases, they want to find Tanner Gentry, number 4. He'll line up in the slot almost exclusively. You see a wide set here. Here's Gentry, and sometimes they love to bring the back out of the backfield and isolate him on a safety or linebacker.
Aztecs show pressure, and they bring it. Allen throw into the end zone, caught, touchdown. Jacob Hollister goes up for it. Who said anything about settling for a field goal? That's 6 for the Cowboys.
Huge turnover by Mala'ulu and a great play. And Jacob Hollister, probably the most versatile tight end Wyoming has on this offense, goes up for the jump ball and gets the first touchdown of the game.
Roth puts it through. So Wyoming very much at home in this conference championship game. They get the interception, and that leads to the touchdown pass. Jacob Hollister from Josh Allen. 10-0 Cowboys.
Welcome back to Laramie. 10-0 game, the Wyoming Cowboys. Great conversion by that offense. Punching the ball in after the turnover by Mala'ulu. Take a 2-score lead in this football game.
And they do it quick. 3 plays, 17 yards. Minute 26 coming off the clock. See if Rashad Penny gets a chance. And Penny at the goal line. He will look to return it for the first time. He can make people miss. Here's Penny. And he is dragged out at the 38 by Jalen Ortiz. On first down off the play fake. Chapman ready to throw again. And nearly intercepted again. Marcus Epps with his hands to his head. Thought he should have picked that one clean.
Yeah, great read by Epps. Felt like this Wyoming defense and their defensive coordinator, Steve Stannard, felt like if they take away the inside run and then the boots, those are the 2 biggest things San Diego State likes to do offensively. And Epps, that time, was all over the boot pass.
2nd down and 10. Handoff, here's Pumphrey. He's out across the 40-yard line.
Really enjoyed talking to Donnel Pumphrey last night. He's such a energetic, he's got an effervescence about him. He's only 170 pounds, maybe. They list him at 180, but he's more like 175, 9. But the thing I impressed most about him is the durability. You don't have 5,000 yards rushing and another 1,000 receiving if you're not durable, tough, and there for your team when they need you.
Over 300 touches each of the last 3 seasons, including this one. Penny and Pumphrey are both out there. That's Truxton in motion, top of your screen. Here's Chapman to throw. Checks it down to Penny. Let's see if he has enough for the first down.
Pass complete to Penny. Brought down by 42.
Looks like they're going to mark him. First down.
They're going to give it to him.
It's a big first down there. Down 10-0 first quarter. In danger of this game going in the wrong direction. San Diego State's lost their last 2 games. And they have done it in very depressing fashion. They have got to get some good mojo going here in the first half.
Lost 63-31 last week to Colorado State. Fresh set of downs. Off the play fake. Chapman rolling and running. And he's bounced out. 3 yards short of that first down. San Diego State 9-3 in the season, 6-2 in conference play. Well, they started 9-1. Their best win was against Cal. They lost the last couple in a big way to Wyoming and Colorado State, and now making their 2nd straight Mountain West championship appearance. Tells you how good they were, right? That you could lose your last 2 games and still play in the conference championship game. All right, they come out of the timeout on 2nd down and 5. And hand off to Rashad Penny. Penny's got the first down and plenty more. Penny with a stiff arm, and he's finally brought down at about the 16-yard line of Wyoming.
Everybody wants to talk about Donnel Pumphrey, and nobody's talking about Rashad Penny. Watch him make both safeties miss in the hole. That's Wingard, the leading tackler in the Mountain West Conference, and another safety, and he just makes both of them miss, and then a stiff arm on the back end.
Gain of 29 on the play. We asked Penny about looking forward to next season, right? Pumphrey's not going to be around. All those carries in that role will fall to Penny, and he's certainly excited about that. Second man through. Here's Pumphrey. And he bangs down.
Pumphrey inside the 10-yard line.
Inside the 10. Marcus Epps brought him down. Very close to a first down.
You know, we talk a lot about these backs, but we got to give some credit to their fullback that's been leading in front of them, Nick Bowden. He's got the long hair, tough guy, converted from a quarterback, which I can tell you from experience, most quarterbacks do not end up as fullbacks. Maybe a tight end or two, but
safety,
not a fullback. This guy is a beast.
Second down and short. Bawden's in there. And they hand it to Pumphrey. He's got the first down, and he's got the touchdown. Donnel Pumphrey, end zone. Aztecs on the board.
I mean, there's a joystick element to this young guy. I mean, in the hole, he never panics. Even though there's free guys in the hole, he's used to it because he's used to 8 and 9 man boxes. That time he had the safety wingered again and a corner, and he just makes the, hits the B button, spin move, and is into the end zone.
The yards after contact, so impressive. Here's John Barron on for the extra point. He's got 100 points on the season. John Barron does. Make it 101. 9-yard run for Pumphrey. 3 minutes on the scoring drive.
Take a look. 3 guys in the hole. There's 2 of them. 1, 2. And if you don't wrap up and secure Donnel Pumphrey, he will make you look terrible, Todd.
Wrap up? How do you even have a chance sometimes? I've watched plenty of tape of this guy. This is the first time I've been standing 20 yards away and actually get to see him live. That guy, the defender, had no shot at all. I mean, his ability to change direction and then accelerate off the cut is special. That's why he's got a chance to be a 3rd, 4th round draft pick and play in the league for a long time, a lot like a Darren Sproles.
So as he inches closer to the all-time record, rushing in a career 10-7 game, big special teams lick. Nico Evans is dropped at the 15. I mentioned Dorsett. I mean, that's just one name. As the yards pile up.
It's crazy. He went from 75th most at the beginning of the year to now 3rd. Jumping all of these guys. I mean, this is amazing. It's awe-inspiring to see these names and how Donnel Pumphrey has passed them this season. He said LaDainian Tomlinson has been his favorite running back since the very beginning of him starting to play football.
I mean, it was a quick glance. Those names flew by, and they got to all be college football Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And many of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as well. Here's Allen to throw. Intercepted. Allen down the sideline was picked off. It's Casey. DeMonte Casey is stopped just short of the goal line.
Casey was trying to get that ball in the end zone. He fumbled the football. They're talking this over, whether this could be a touchback. He's diving for the end zone.
That's Allen who banged him out.
That ball comes out. First question is, was his right foot out of bounds? He's inbounds, so that's definitely a fumble. Now the question is, where does the ball go?
Ruling on the field was that the runner fumbled prior to crossing the goal line. Fumbled out of the end zone for a touchback.
This play, Steve, is great effort on both sides. Casey's trying to make a play, trying to punch the ball into the end zone. We see players every week dive for that pylon. They're coached to do that. But give credit to Josh Allen. He makes a huge mistake throwing the football and getting intercepted, but he doesn't give up on the play. If he doesn't get over there with effort, this is a touchdown. That's been the MO for San Diego State defensively. That's their 21st interception on the season, and you see how many Casey has.
San Diego State was just inches from having 14 points in 16 seconds. That's Brian Hill, the ball carrier. We've got Adnan, thank you. 2nd down and 8. Hand off to Brian Hill. He'll gain a few on the play. Speaking of Wisconsin, you mentioned the 21st interception greased by San Diego State. They tie the Badgers. That's the most in FBS. You cold?
I'm good.
McShay, are you cold? Todd, it's cold down there? Don't worry about it. You know you have all our sympathy. 10-7, Cowboys after one in the Mountain West Championship game.
These two teams had designs on that Cotton Bowl, that Group of 5 bid, until the last 3 weeks of the season happened.
Good job, P.J. Fleck and company. Dumped out of Brian Hill. Stiff arm there, and you hear the collision. But he's got first down yardage. Austin Wyatt Thayer able to stop. I beg you, just short, I said. I beg your pardon, of that first down. And that makes the stop by Wyatt Thayer that much better. Was 3rd and 13, brings up a 4th and 6.
Quest Truxton will go deep to receive the kick. Ethan Wood is on the punt for Wyoming.
Quest Truxton is back, standing at his own 33. Ethan Wood will blast it away. Truxton taking a few steps back. Tripped up. Excellent coverage by Wyoming. And Logan Wilson gonna throw for it. Chapman down the middle of the field, took a shot, and it's Micah Holder. And he has the first down and much more. How about that on 3rd and 2?
Yeah, great job by Chapman. You're going to see he's just going to sneak out Holder there. Here he comes. He's just going to go up the field. Great play action, but look at the placement on this throw, Leaves. Perfectly put for Micah Holder where the defender Epps can't get to it.
Gain of 30 on the play, and they do use Pumphrey as a decoy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Freezes everybody.
And you know, if they're going to win this game, their offensive coordinator Jeff Horton has got to have some plays like that. Got to take 4 or 5 shots down the field.
Play fake again to Pumphrey. Chapman hit as he throws, and it was short. Looking for Truxton. Todd.
And with Chapman, height is an issue. He's behind a massive offensive line and struggles at times to see. But you saw on the deep thrower, he connected, he had protection, he was deep enough in his drop. And then also they're going to try to get him outside the pocket where it's easier for him to see the entire field.
That's a great point, Todd. They did that in last year's Mountain West Championship game. People forget Chapman started that football game and ended up being the offensive MVP of that football game when they beat Air Force.
9 of 14, 203 yards and a score. That was his first win as a starting quarterback on 2nd down and 10. Penny turns the corner. Very close to the first down marker. Antonio Hall pushed him out.
Just to finish with Jeff Horton, he told us yesterday he really believes as this offense continues to go in this game, the physical nature of their offensive line, and as Todd mentioned, how much they outweigh that Wyoming defensive line. The 2-yard gain in the first quarter turns into a 4-yard gain in the second quarter, a 6-yard in the third, and then an 8-yard gain or maybe a touchdown in the fourth quarter as they start to wear them down.
3rd and 3. Bawden, the fullback's in there. Penny's the ball carrier, has the first down. Dropped at exactly the 20-yard line by Shiloh Windsor.
Boy, you do everything you possibly can, Wyoming defensively, to get Shiloh Windsor free in the backfield. Number 92, there he is. And I'm sorry, your athlete at San Diego State's better than their athlete at Wyoming in that case. And Penny takes a 2-yard loss and turns it into a first down.
First down and 10. Pumphrey. And that's one way of keeping people fresh is that they have Penny and Pumphrey who both run the football.
Yeah, so far you can see how Pumphrey has started to take over. Watch this block by Bowden, just blowing up the defensive linebacker back-to-back times. This time you get a free secondary, that's Wingard, 2 free secondary players, and then the corner and the patented spin move from Donnel Pumphrey, who said to us yesterday, this is the most important game of his career. Saying a lot, 52 games he's played in his career at San Diego State.
Chapman under some pressure, trying to get out of there. And he'll be chased and slammed out of bounds. Prosser knocked him out, along with Walker.
Yeah, it was good coverage there. They tried to get the ball to Donnel Pumphrey on a little out route. Pumphrey is the leading receiver on the team also, which is a little surprising when you look at it. 26 catches coming into this game.
Not in receiving yards, but yes, in receptions. He is the do-it-all, do everything.
Be interested to see if this is 4-down territory for Rocky Long, and if he communicates to Christian Chapman as such, knowing he doesn't need to force the ball down the field.
9th play of the drive upcoming. Just get it away. Pumphrey stopped, rocked by Mala'ulu, who had the interception earlier. Mala'ulu comes up with the run stop there on 4th down, leaving 4th down.
What is Rocky Long going to do here? 4th and 9. I think he's going to kick, which if they would have been in a 4th and 4, 3, maybe he would have gone for it. But
I think that was the design, was to try to get a 4th and 3 with that play call.
37-yard attempt from John Barron out of the hold of Tanner Blaine. And just squeezes it through. John Barron does. Wyoming scored the first 10. And they're able to hold there, only giving up the field goal. We're all tied up in the Mountain West championship game.
How many Carhartts do you think they're in the stands today? Do you know what a Carhartt is, Mr. Long Island?
Mr. More of an explanation there. Is that to keep your engine block warm?
Oh, jeez. I can't believe that. You got it.
All right, well, tell the people.
Cold weather gear, man.
Oh, Carhartt.
The working folks, yeah.
Right, boots.
Boots, overalls.
So why do you know about it then?
I mean, you wore a bolo today. I give you credit for that, but I could have made you put the Carhartts on.
The South Florida kid. Touchback.
It's a big drive for Wyoming here. It's been up and down for them in this first half. Can they get anything going before halftime?
With all 3 timeouts, Allen throwing across the middle and completing for the huge chunk to Jake Mulhart. His first catch for the California native.
And before this drive, Josh Allen has only been 4 of 8 for 48 yards. And all of a sudden now gets a seam downfield. Mulhart, it's an emotional game for him coming from Southern California where he grew up.
Gain of 37. Allen looking to the left side. And again looking for Mulhart. And the coverage, DeMonte KZ. I mean, who else? KZ's been everywhere for San Diego State.
Well, Mulhart is 6'6", Steve, 230 pounds. So KZ's only 5'11". He's given up 7 inches, but great position. And at the right time, we've seen him do this twice already in this game to get that hand up at just the right time to knock the ball out.
32 seconds left now. Wyoming scored the first 10. San Diego State has matched them since. Allen feeling some heat. And as he released, he was knocked around. Sergio Phillips found his way in the backfield.
I don't know if that ball was tipped, but that should be intentional grounding. He was inside the pocket, and there was no receiver anywhere near the area. He got tipped by Sergio Phillips. In that case, there's no intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Third and 10. Looks like they need a yard or 2 to get to that field goal line. 1 of 6 so far in 3rd down conversions. Allen trying to run for it. Can't get there. Cameron Kelly made the tackle. It's a loss. And Allen frustrated. And that clock continues to spin. 15 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, you're losing the opportunity here to at least attempt a field goal, unless Greg Bowl just wants to let it run down and call a timeout to end the first half.
That was odd.
His young quarterback, his eyes are not staying downfield now. He's seeing the rush. He had open receivers there, but the blitz of Rocky Long is starting to affect Josh Allen.
Going to take a shot at the end zone here with 3 seconds left in the first half. Pretty close to that field goal target line. Didn't want to push it. Here's Allen pushing it downfield in the end zone. And it is knocked away. Cameron Kelly. I can still hear Tom Jackson screaming, knock it down. And that's exactly what Cameron Kelly did. We're all tied in the Mountain West Championship game. Let's go to the studio and Adnan Burke.
Coach, defense holds them to 10 points in the first half. What is it specifically that you guys were able to do to have success?
You know what, we're doing a really good job establishing line of scrimmage, and we're tackling well. Missed a couple tackles, but our discipline and run fits are there. We're playing good pass defense.
Only around 40 yards rushing the first half. How do you get that aspect of the game going?
Well, this is a tough defense we're going against, and they kind of live by the sword, die by the sword. We got to get a couple runs popped, and we got to get ourselves out of third down along with all the jumps.
Thanks, Coach.
10-all in the Mountain West Championship game here in Laramie, Wyoming. And some of the numbers, none of which really stand out. What do you think, Tex? That first, there were a combined 9 passes that were completed in that first half. These are 2 defenses that combined to allow 119 points a week ago, but the defenses have come up big in that first half.
Yeah, San Diego State really was able to get some pressure on Josh Allen, force a turnover, and then Wyoming, for the most part, was able to contain Donnel Pumphrey, 57 yards in the first half, but we know how explosive he is. They'll have to do it again in the second half.
Wyoming will get the football to start here in the second half. Wyoming scored the first 10 points of the game, and San Diego State was able to rally back. And they will start at the 25-yard line. Down to Chili McShay.
You guys look great in that booth. Josh Allen, first half, some special things. We told you he has a special skill set, and here at 6'5", when he hangs in the pocket, keeps his eyes down the field, he can make throws that a lot of guys in college football cannot. But one issue that he's had in this first half he's going to have to improve upon is when his eyes drop when he's inside the pocket too early. You see right there, he had a wide open receiver and misses him. Just 5 for 12 in the first half. He's got to be better in the second half for Wyoming to win.
Last 5 possessions for Wyoming to end that half. Interception, punt, 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 and the end of the half. So on first down and 10, Brian Hill, the ball carrier, maybe got a yard on forward progress for Calvin Munson. Made the tackle.
This second half for Wyoming offensively cannot just be about Josh Allen. They have got to get Brian Hill going. People think he's been overlooked because of Donnel Pumphrey in this conference, but he's the 4th leading rusher in college football this year, and they have to get more production. And this offensive line up front, we haven't talked a whole lot about them, but their senior captain, Chase Roulier at center, has to motivate this offensive line to block better in the second half.
Well, Pumphrey's been held to 57 yards on the ground. Hill just 22 yards, 2 yards per carry. Here's Allen throwing, and he sailed it over the head of Tanner Gentry.
Rocky Long has got to be happy with the way that his defense has adjusted. You know, they came in, as we mentioned, last week against Colorado State, 63 points. And for them to come in and play as well as they have in the first part of this game, it's an encouraging sign for Rocky Long.
1 of 7 so far on third down conversions. They've been pretty good all season. You saw 46%, but not tonight, not to this point. With 4 receivers in the pattern for Josh Allen, trying to spin out of some trouble. And throw it out of the field. It's a jump ball, and it's intercepted. It's KZ again, his 2nd interception of the night. And that's how the first possession goes of the second half for the Cowboys.
This is exactly what Craig Bohl does not want to see from his young quarterback. And you know they talked about it at halftime. There's KZ over here. You're going to roll. There's a corner blitz coming, but you cannot throw this ball late like this across your body. He did it. The problem is he does it against Boise State, gets away with it. He did it in the first game against San Diego State and gets away with it. And when you get away with it and you have a big arm, it's just too enticing, and he wasn't able to lay off of it, Todd.
And one of the reasons you don't throw across your body is because you're not set physically and your fundamentals, your footwork's not right. You saw that ball did not come out of his hand the way any other throw has the remainder of the night.
Yeah, you can't see, Todd. You can't see back there. And he obviously didn't see KZ.
Here's Pumphrey trying to turn the corner and get outside. And he has just enough for the first down. As for KZ, he has 17 career interceptions now. Think about that. 7 this season, but the 17 career interceptions is a school record and is tied among all active FBS players with Weston Steelhammer of Air Force. First down and 10 after the 11-yard run. Chapman's under center, and he'll pitch to Pumphrey. Cuts it back the other way. Now near side, and he'll be pushed out at the 12-yard line.
Is there a quicker back in college football? I mean, take a look at this real speed. I mean, this. It's pretty awesome. Trust, as much he trusts his offensive line, trusts his coaches. He's been through so much in his career, and he's just playing with an extreme amount of confidence right now.
Pumphrey out, Penny in on 2nd and 2. I take a shot at 2nd and 2, as you know, please. Handoff. It's Penny right up the middle. Has the first down, and that'll move the chains, bring up a 1st and goal.
You know what? One of the differences I've noticed as the season has gone on for San Diego State is they have spelled Pumphrey more with Penny, and I think it keeps Donnel fresher. Yes, he's had over 300 carries. A lot of those were front-loaded at the beginning of the season, but as Penny has emerged, I think Donnel Pumphrey has gotten better because he's been fresher.
131 rushing yards as a team for the Aztecs tonight. Here on 1st and goal. Penny stays in there. Gets some blocking from the fullback Bawden and leaps into the end zone for the touchdown. Rashad Penny. And the Aztecs make the Cowboys pay. Turnover and the score.
You want to talk about the maturity of these two teams. The immaturity in the case of Josh Allen throwing the interception, and then the maturity of the San Diego State team, who has been in this position before last year in the Mountain West Conference and under Rocky Long quite a few times, winning a bunch of games to be physical and make them pay off the turnover with a physical run game.
And Chapman doesn't have to put it in the air. 4 plays, all on the ground. Penny, his 15th touchdown of the season, 10th on the ground. And the extra point from John Barron is good. With 5 minutes left in the first quarter, it was 10-0 Wyoming. And then the pick by DeMonte KZ. And that turns into points. 17-10 visiting San Diego State. Back in Laramie, Wyoming, San Diego State has never had consecutive 10-win seasons as a member of a Division I conference. Trying to get that here tonight. And they are on top now of the Cowboys, 17-10. We are eager to see how young Josh Allen responds to his latest interception throw. That'll go out the back of the end zone. Apparently. All right, here we go. 1st down and 10 for Wyoming. This equals their best starting field position. Well, their worst starting field position. They haven't had any good starting field position all night. Allen, and things are going to get worse for him. Taken down by Kyle Kelly, and now he might be hurt.
Come on, he got stepped on. Looked like Noble Hall came over there. He was on the ground, and to make that injury to insult, I think Noble Hall stepped on him. I think it may have been by accident, but take a big sack, and he's on the ground. There's Kelly, 59, but watch 95 come over to celebrate, and he comes down right on the leg of Josh Allen. Yeah.
They got to snap this football down to 2. They just get it away after the big loss of 9. Big run by Brian Hill, finally breaks free. Here's Hill down the sideline. And only KZ, of course, is able to knock him down. Brian Hill has been waiting for that all night.
Rocky Long brought another pressure. Cameron Kelly, the safety, came off the edge, and he was responsible, but he did not get Brian Hill on the ground. And we talked about taking the pressure off your quarterback. One of the best ways to do it is run the football.
That's 66 yards on the run by Brian Hill, by far his biggest of the night. Prior to that run, they had 3 sacks in the previous 4 snaps, so they needed that desperately. Sean Wick now checks in. Give Hill a breather. But Allen's going to throw. Far side of the field. Too far for Josh Harshman, the tight end.
Todd, I want to ask you, if you're Brett Vegan, what are you going to do to settle this quarterback down and get this offense back in rhythm?
Well, San Diego State has a 3-man front. When they're sending pressure, they've done a lot of it. They're sending 2 guys, usually to one side. And to be honest with you, it's been easy pre-snap to figure out which 2 guys are coming. So now you've got to figure out with the zone coverage behind it, where's the vacated zone, and start attacking that spot.
2nd and 10. It's Sean Wick, the ball carrier. Maybe a yard on the play. But a 3rd down.
What I don't know is how much, they said that he has control with setting his protections and checking out of bad plays, but how much control in terms of hot reads and what their adjustments can be based off the blitz, Brian.
Yeah, one of the things you can do rather than trying to pick up all the blitz as a quarterback is, as an offensive coordinator, spread the defense out and throw the ball quick. We haven't called Tanner Gentry's name in 2 quarters. Mulholland,
good point.
Jacob Hollister, none of these guys have catches. They're not in the ball game. Give them some opportunity to throw the ball quick.
And they can't convert on 3rd down. 1 of 9. Make it 1 of 10. There's C.J. Johnson for the short game. Calvin Munson having himself a football game tonight.
They're in that fringe area where Craig Bowles got to make a decision on 4th and 5, and made a pretty quick one to bring Cooper Roth, the true freshman, on to attempt a field goal. He's hit 6 in a row going back to the Boise game. And made 1 here tonight already, 46 yards.
That 46-yarder equals his career high. This is from 42. The short goalposts here. No good. Missed it.
That one's on Greasy.
He's a true freshman and been pretty reliable. Looked like this was online, Steve, and then just took a hard left turn. And that big run by Brian Hills goes for no points.
San Diego State with the lead and the football. Rashad Penny is the setback. And he's got the ball. Penny trying to make some people miss, and does. Was able to beat Rico Gafford to the corner, and then only Marcus Epps able to force him out. But not until he had the big gain.
He may not have the quickness that we see from Donnel, but man, he's got speed to get to the outside. That's one cut and go, and he's hard to track down from behind.
Oh, and he's 220 pounds too, Todd. I mean, it's going to be a sad day for San Diego State fans when Donnel Pumphrey goes on to the next level. But this guy, Rashad Penny, the future is bright next season, where he's going to get a heavy part of the load of this offense running the football.
Ripped off 37 there. Pumphrey's back in the game now. And he takes it right up the middle for 6.
You're starting to see this offensive line and tight end start to lean on the defensive front for Wyoming. This is their game. They will stick with it. They are conservative. Jeff Horton comes from a conservative line of coaching. Big guys up front. You see the size, 330. Saragusa is probably the best of all of them. Really starting to reestablish the line of scrimmage.
185 rushing yards behind that offensive line. Pumphrey has 84, Penny has 80. And Pumphrey's going to lose there. Loss on the play, loss of 2. Logan Wilson on the stop.
First time we've mentioned Logan Wilson. So what is the adjustment for Wyoming on the defensive side? You got to get, there hasn't been a whole lot of passing. You got to get that 9th guy in the box, Steve. And when you get him there, you got to get Donnel Pumphrey and Rashad Penny on the ground. We've seen Wingard miss tackles, Epps miss tackles. That's been the key in the game.
Here's 3rd and 6. Handed off to Pumphrey. And he has the first down. There is a flag in the secondary. We'll check the marker.
Holding. Defense number 87. 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Connor Kane, the sophomore from Littleton, Colorado.
It's a pretty good position to be in when you're 3rd and 7 and you can just turn around, hand the football off, reestablish the line of scrimmage, and get a first down. I mean, that is the recipe for Jeff Horton and for Rocky Long on offense.
Give it to Pumphrey. Needed 8 yards to pass Ricky Williams. We'll see where that second effort winds up.
You know, San Diego State had a great fullback a year ago in Dakota Gordon, and Nick Bawden, as we mentioned, talked about him in the first half. Can't say enough about him at now 6'3", 240 pounds. He's made the move from quarterback to fullback, and he is absolutely killing the linebackers for Wyoming.
Pumphrey a yard shy. Here it is, has the yard and then some. Just put Ricky Williams in the rearview mirror. And Donnel Pumphrey takes over second on the all-time rushing yards list in college football.
How about that? I mean, that's... And it could be a nicer kid. Could not be a nicer kid. And humble, but driven. He's been a leader for 4 years at this program, and it's good to see. You know, and he's got that 1 game left. Who knows? He could do it this game. He breaks a couple big runs, but well within his range to catch Ron Dane before his career's out.
2 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. On 3rd and 1, Wyoming thinks they stop Pumphrey. This would be very close.
Well, I think it ends up being the right call, because look, I don't think he gets a favorable spot. See if you think he gets to the 5-yard line right there.
Nope.
Looks like Michigan, Ohio State there.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Glad you did.
They're going to go for it, though. And why not? I mean, they have been completely blowing Wyoming off the ball.
There's a good look from the sky cam. Top of Arthur Flores. Got some extra big bodies up front. There's Petty. First down and touchdown as well. Imposing their will, which San Diego State said they want to do in the 4th quarter. Looks like they've done it here late in the 3rd.
Great effort there by Penny. Wyoming had Logan Wilson free, completely free in the hole, and he's just not able to get Rashard Penny on the ground. Wilson goes 225 and Penny's 220, and he's able to get Skinny in the hole and get a big conversion and then finish with a touchdown.
They checked it out, all good. Longest drive tonight, 75 yards. Here's John Barron to add the exclamation point. 75 yards, and that's their formula as well. Christian Chapman didn't throw it a single time on a 75-yard drive. Sounds like all the people we've spoken to, the Las Vegas Bowl will select the winner of this game here tonight as one representative. And there's a lot of speculation out there now that Houston will be the other choice for the Las Vegas Bowl.
It's interesting bowl season. You know, it's the Cactus Bowl is going to come into the Mountain West as well, because I don't think there will be enough bowl eligible teams from the Pac-12 to fill that, so they'll probably get the 2nd pick in the Mountain West after the Las Vegas Bowl.
That's why you got to tune in, noon Eastern time tomorrow. Reese Davis and all the guys, selection show. Want to get this crowd back in the game. Those that have braved the elements here tonight. Here's Al to throw. Put some touch on that one. And they're across midfield at Tyree Mayfield's first grab. Adnan, thanks. Felt like forever since Allen's last completion. Good for 15 there on 1st down and 10. Here's Brian Hill trying to pick a spot. Instead, he sent flying backwards. Loss on the play, and that's how quarter number 3 will come to an end. Seems like a long time ago, Wyoming scored the first 10 points of the game. Ever since then, 24 unanswered by the Aztecs on our way to the 4th. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton by Hilton as part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. San Diego State defense, they bounced back nicely ever since they allowed 97 points in their last 2 games.
Yeah, and it's been this attacking style from Rocky Long, and it's been a lot of the months in their senior linebacker and captain, number 54. You see him coming in a lot of different sets. They've been bringing some stunts up front. They are not allowing Josh Allen the time to survey the field, and this approach has really gave them an opportunity to be up 2 touchdowns in this game.
Levy, Greasy McShay, and our outstanding college football crew from Laramie, Wyoming. For a lot of us, our first visit, and enjoying every second. We open up quarter number 4, just across midfield. And the Cowboys need something here on 2nd and 9. Allen the pump, and now a throw the other side of the field, and able to complete. Mulhart coming over to make a play for his quarterback.
Yeah, extends the play here. Key is don't throw back across your body. You're going to roll right. Throw to the outside where you know you can use your strong arm and protect the football.
Not many guys can make that throw as quickly getting the ball from A to B as he did. But I like the idea, the concept of throwing vertically. You know, these corners are sitting on a lot of routes. I saw a double route on the backside. I think they'll continue to do that.
Mulhart's second catch, got 52 receiving yards. Here's Brian Hill trying to pick up some blockers. Not much doing there. What's happening back in the studio? Here's Adnan.
All right, Leaves, thank you. We just want to update you on the ACC Championship game over on ABC. Clemson and Virginia Tech. This is Wayne Gallman, 8-yard touchdown run. He's got 13 carries, 46 yards, as Clemson has a 2-touchdown lead over Virginia Tech. Steve.
All right, 2-touchdown lead. Not a blowout by any means. Keep an eye on that one. Here it's a 2-touchdown lead as well.
Got to get points here if you're Wyoming.
Allen hit as he throws, has a man, and could not hook up with his intended target. Malik Smith got a knock on Allen.
It's a great pickup on the inside. We talked a lot about the blitz. Take a look at Brian Hill picking up the blitz on the inside. You had the matchup you wanted, a wide receiver on the outside, and they had Kyle Kelly, a defensive tackle basically at 260 pounds, running downfield with the wide receiver.
Hey, I'm going to keep hitting it until they get one, Grease. 1 for 10 on 3rd down conversions. Here's Allen. Back by the 50. And now he'll throw it, show you the arm strength. End zone, back in the end zone, caught! Touchdown! Tanner Gentry went up to make the grab. Allen in all sorts of trouble, and now Wyoming's back in the game.
Josh Allen had Gentry open early in this play. It looked like there was a breakdown in coverage. Gentry was streaking down the seam. Didn't see him initially, and then comes back to him. And it does a nice job, Gentry does, of getting away with a push-off and creating some late separation, Brock.
Well, Todd, they had a true freshman, Trenton Thompson, who I haven't seen play a whole lot this season. And he's the one that busted the coverage and tried to make up for it. But he got there too late, and the arm strength of Josh Allen, 53 yards down the field on the run. That's a hose.
The extra point is good. I got a quick statistical question for you, Grease. Does that count as a 3rd down conversion?
Absolutely.
Hey, how about 2 for 11 on 3rd down in a big way? That touchdown was Wyoming's first points in exactly 36 minutes. I mean to the second. Well, they took a 10-0 lead. And they find themselves now right back in the football game with plenty of time left. 13:49 left here in the fourth quarter, trailing by a touchdown.
Yeah, they had to have it. I mean, this Wyoming team, and in particular Josh Allen, in crunch time, fourth quarter against Boise and fourth quarter against San Diego State 2 weeks ago, that's been the time where they have really come alive and played their best.
Penny and Washington both dying to get a return. Both have had kickoff returns for touchdowns against Wyoming. Donnel Pumphrey up over 100 yards. He'll watch Christian Chapman throw it down the field and complete. Micah Holder. And I can't remember the last time Chapman completed a pass.
Great call here from Jeff Horton. It's been all runs the entire third quarter, not one pass from Christian Chapman. 15 plays, all runs. And they open the fourth quarter with a play-action pass and get a big first down and seize momentum.
Marty said Chapman's last completion was early in the second quarter. And they've been winning the whole game via the runs you mentioned, Reese. Here's Pumphrey. Marcus Epps, the stop. That's a loss of one. It's like a Ricky Williams back in the conversation. Needed 100 yards tonight to pass Ricky.
Second down, 10 yards.
Call it a loss of one. So he's still there.
So he's still
cutting it close. Second and 11 upcoming.
Steve, when you have safeties making tackles for loss, what does that tell you?
It tells you got problems.
Well, no, you should be throwing the football, right? If the safety's
Well, they're up. They're so close to the line of scrimmage.
You got to be able to throw the play-action pass.
Second and 11.
And you got problems.
Chapman's throwing again. And incomplete.
That's what they're trying. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of the last 3 plays, they know that the safeties are biting, and they have to. That's the only way Wyoming's going to stop the run. So now it's time to exploit it.
Yeah, and they made the throw and catch, Todd, on the first play to Micah Holder. That time they tried to get the football to Kendrick Mathis, who hasn't played a whole lot this season for San Diego State, and they just missed the connection.
Third down and 11. Crowd getting loud. Chapman, a little dump off to Penny. Not enough. Wyoming's defense will get off the field. Marcus Epps comes up to make the tackle.
Nice tackle in the open field by Marcus Epps. It's not an easy man, Rashad Penny, to get on the ground. Epps now 2 big plays on this drive. In the last game against San Diego State, he had 12 tackles, so he loves playing against the Aztecs.
Now, when your safeties are your leading tacklers, Grease, Epps and Wingard are, that tells me they're usually getting into your secondary. You'd like your linebackers to be leading in tackles. Austin Conway, call for the fair catch. And Wyoming gets the football back. And they will start at their own 12-yard line, trailing by 7.
Expect more pressure here from San Diego State.
Allen trying to step up. There is a flag behind the play. Allen puts his head down, and the football goes down as well. Lost the football. San Diego State says they have it, and they do. Kyle Kelly. Looks like he came up, and then we'll check the flag. And that might be the play of the game right there.
Boy, Josh Allen, when you have to put all of the playmaking on your quarterback, you don't have any run game to support him. He feels like he has to do everything. He's fighting and scratching to try to get a first down. And great job by Henderson. Jay Henderson, the junior, number 46, gets his hand on that football and rips. That is textbook as a linebacker, comes up with a huge turnover.
Henderson knocked it free. Kelly recovered. And for Josh Allen, that's his 3rd turnover tonight. 2 interceptions, and now the fumble.
And Craig Bull, we were talking with him yesterday, and we just saw him in the office casually walking by his young quarterback, and he looked at me, and he said, hey, can you talk to him? Tell him to protect the football. And it's a high wire act right now with Josh Allen. He makes some unbelievable plays, and he gets guys, you know, excited about his arm and all that, but then the turnovers have killed them today.
Here's Pumphrey. Good second effort. Looked like a 1-yard gain, turned into an 8-yard gain.
He gets so low that it's almost impossible as a defender, a linebacker, defensive back to get as low as him, and he just sneaks under would-be tacklers. It was amazing to see how low he got and then was able to pop back out.
Reminds you like of a Darren Sproles, or one of the smaller running backs at the NFL at the next level. Keeps his legs going. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to get hit, but he rarely gets hit square because he's so elusive.
Pumphrey out, Penny in on 2nd and 3. Can get a first down. Little hesitation move by Penny. And he'll pick up 1 on the play and bring up a 3rd down and short. Again, they can get the first down as the clock winds, coming up on 8 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. San Diego State trying to make it a 2-score game.
And at this point, you know, you almost would rather get a first down so you can continue to burn more of the clock. Rocky Long and this staff are probably, of all the teams in college football, more aware of time of possession and value time of possession and number of plays more than anybody.
Rashad Penny already has 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. They'll try to make it a 3rd. Not that time. Not going to happen. Johanna Gunfar able to make the tackle in the middle of that line.
Boy, give credit to Gaffon. Number 93 is going to spin back off of the block down. That is well done by a defensive tackle. That power play, they teach the tackle to block down on you, and as soon as you feel that, you spin off, and that back should be right in the hole. And defensive coordinator Stan Stanard coached him up well.
20-yard field goal attempt for John Barron. He's made his last 6. He's made his last 16 field goal attempts less than 51 yards. Look, a bit of an issue on the high snap, but Barron's able to bang that one through. So the turnover leads to points. It's not 6. It is 3. Makes it a 2-score game. Getting late in Laramie. Should be a fun watch with Reese and company. Whole lot of questions. Get a whole lot of answers. We'll see how many people are upset with those answers.
The real question needs to be, I want to hear from Todd on this too, is are you going to overlook the non-conference schedule of Washington? They play Portland and Idaho State. Or Portland State and Idaho, sorry. It's a big catch by Gentry.
Tanner Gentry down across midfield.
Because if you do that and you put them in, then the incentive for others to schedule these games in the beginning part of the season, non-conference, completely goes away.
Which is what the committee hammers you on all the time. You're out of conference schedule. It almost sounds like they'd rather a close loss to a high-ranked opponent out of conference.
I get that,
than a win.
But how do you, even though it was razor thin, how do you have, if you have Washington slightly ahead of Michigan last week, and then Washington goes out and puts on the performance that it did to win a conference championship against a really good Colorado team, how do you not keep him in form?
Understood.
Allen throwing it on target to C.J. Johnson. Johnson trying to turn the corner, and he's in on his feet. C.J. Johnson, who scored the game-winning touchdown against San Diego State a couple of weeks ago. He's got the touchdown here.
This offense is the #1 offense in the Mountain West Conference because of their explosive plays. San Diego State has been attacking all game, 3.5 quarters. They take 2 plays where they don't try to get after the quarterback, give him time, and they score a touchdown.
And the extra point is good. All of a sudden, it's a field goal game. Consecutive passes of 32 and 43 yards. Take just 42 seconds off the clock and don't go anywhere, people. I prefer the Buffalo too, defense.
You prefer the Buffalo Wings, is what you...
Here we go. Just over 6 to play in the Mountain West Championship game. Rashad Penny. He's got 2 touchdowns on the ground. touchdown to the far side, down the sideline. Rashad Penny looking to cut it back, and he is stopped. We've been waiting for that return all night long. Rashad Penny, who ran back the opening kickoff for a touchdown on this field 2 weeks ago, gets the big return for 75 yards.
You just can't kick the ball to him and give him a chance to return it. We talked to Rocky Long last night, and he said our biggest advantage in this game is special teams. Our guys on special teams are better than their guys. Rarely do you get a coach that will say that and admit that, but it's a clear advantage for San Diego State. It hasn't popped up until this crunch time situation here late in the fourth.
Juwan Washington now in the backfield for San Diego State. Chapman was going to throw, now he tucks it, and now he's going to be dropped. It's Gaffon who brings him down with a host of brown and gold jerseys. And a great championship game here as well in Laramie, Wyoming. Under 5 to play, 3-point game. Gaffon has made consecutive big defensive plays. And here's a big offensive play by Penny, who puts his foot in the dirt, turns the corner, and has the first down. On a 2nd and 21.
Boy, that's just too easy. Wyoming lost contain quickly on that play. And with a guy like Penny with that kind of speed, you cannot allow him to get to the outside. Logan Wilson loses leverage, Todd.
Yeah, and as a cornerback, you've got to realize that this guy's been doing it all night long. Anytime he's got any kind of angle, he's going to turn the corner because of that burst. So impressive, Penny. 5'11", 220 pounds. I think he's one of the faster backs we've seen in terms of straight line speed all season.
And the leading rusher for the Aztecs tonight is not Donnel Pumphrey. It's Rashad Penny. He's got him by a yard from now. Pitch to Washington. He's dropped for a big loss. It's Gaffon again who's trying to take over this thing. The ball come out.
That ball came out.
What a spot for a turnover. And they're going wild here at the war. Gaffon punched it out.
Boy, and you mentioned Donnel Pumphrey on the sideline, Steve, as well as Rashad Penny, and they put in Juwan Washington in crunch time. And you're right, Gaffon here is there. Logan Wilson, and that ball is just not secured well enough by Juwan Washington.
And red zone defense for Wyoming has been the key to their success all season. They give up a ton of yards between the 20s, but in the red zone, they've come up big. They did it several times against San Diego State the first game, and they're doing it again tonight.
Washington had at least 1 touchdown in 5 straight games, but he coughs it up. And here's the ball game for Wyoming. Allen, quick throw to C.J. Johnson. And they'll spot him just shy of the first down, bring up a 2nd down and short. So it's all there for Wyoming, trailing by 3 with the football.
This team, Wyoming, was 2-10 a year ago, and everybody, I mean everybody, picked them last in the Mountain West Conference this season. For them to be in this position right now, down 3 with a chance to go down and win the Mountain West Conference Championship, couldn't ask for more.
The pollsters had San Diego State picked first, so they were half right. Here's Allen, down the middle to C.J. Johnson. The ball is out. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass. You can see the official in your screen immediately calling for an incomplete pass.
Wow, another dart from Josh Allen. That ball right on the money. Question is, does he make a football move after securing that football? The ball never gets into his body, so I think they're going to say that was never a catch.
Especially since that's the call on the field, is the incomplete.
Great job by the safety Malik Smith, the senior, getting his hand on that football.
And Allen will keep it. Won't get there.
No.
I think he lost a yard on the play.
No, and that was huge for San Diego State. You know, we got caught up in that, you know, instant replay, and that was a huge 3rd and 2, and San Diego State sold out to stop the run. And Craig Bull's going to go for it here. You only have one timeout. You talk about those timeouts, how they come back to bite you. If he had all three, he could have punted.
Clock winding down to 3 minutes left. 4th and 2. 5 to snap it. Allen faked the pitch. Wow, not even close. How about this San Diego State defense? #1 in the conference for a reason, and Calvin Munson filling the hole for the Aztecs. They turn it over on downs, and I don't know if Allen's hurt or just frustrated.
It was Munson and Laka, and they have done their homework, San Diego State. Here's Munson, he's going to fill, and here's Laka. He's the one that's going to come. It's a little pitch power here. They studied this in crunch time. Wyoming loved this play. Laka and Munson not fooled and come up with the game winner.
I got to say, I'm a little surprised. You've got a quarterback that is red hot throwing the ball. Why, at least one of those 2 downs, you don't give him a shot to put the ball in the air?
This has been what they've done, Todd. In the Boise State game, they did it in this game 2 weeks ago in crunch time.
But it hasn't worked tonight.
They have run the ball with 17, and I agree with you. That tendency, they continue with it, and Rocky Long and San Diego State were ready for it.
Todd, I'm with you. Those last 2 runs go for 0 and a loss of 2 when your quarterback was throwing perfect balls. That's Rashad Penny on the ball carry. And the clock will tick towards 2.5 minutes left in the game. The Mountain West Championship game. Aztecs lead by 3. Immediately following our game, tune into ESPN 3 for the 2016 Mountain West Football Championship Trophy ceremony. 2nd and 9.
You see Penny back in the game. Protect the football. That's job #1.
Give it to Penny. He'll pick up about 5.
With the football, Gavon on the
I
tackle.
think Wyoming's going to use their last timeout.
To the 15-yard line.
Good to see Donnel Pumphrey back out on the field. First time since he got nicked and retaped on the sideline.
First down here would end the game. They're not going to get the first down. They're going to lose. Andrew Wingard came up to make the tackle.
Winger was tracking Pumphrey the entire time. He's been trying to find Pumphrey most of the football game, and he's been embarrassed by Pumphrey at times in the hole, but this time comes up and makes a big stop. Now San Diego State's going to bleed as much time as they can off the clock here.
Should get about 1:10 left. Here we go. And Chapman with the ball in his hands, going to throw it. Going to fumble the football. Looked like Daniel Brunskill, the right tackle, able to recover. And Chapman comes up limping now. So that was a total disaster in every way for the Aztecs.
I get it. You want to be aggressive. You want to go win a game. But now you put yourself in a difficult situation because you kick a field goal, you go up 6, kick off, and there's maybe a minute and change left. But now this team, they have plenty of time, and all they have to do is go 35 yards to attempt a field goal.
What a time for Wyoming's first sack of the night. .67 seconds left. No timeouts for the Cowboys.
They're going to blitz him.
Allen feels the pressure, steps up, and shovels it forward. You can hear they're talking about intentional grounding on that. Will be an incomplete pass.
So listen, I didn't agree with the decision by Rocky Long, to go for it there on 4th down, but I completely agree with his decision here to bring pressure and force the issue on Josh Allen. If you're going to make that decision to go for it, then you got to follow it up and be aggressive on defense.
Cooper Roth, Wyoming's kicker, his career long is 46. Now he's a true freshman, so the career hasn't been that long. hit from 46 tonight, equaling his career high. That gives you an idea of how much yardage they need. Here's Allen throwing, sideline, little back shoulder deal. Look to hook up with Tanner Gentry. Waiting for a flag. It doesn't look like it's coming. Ron Smith had the coverage.
Yeah, they identified the matchup on the redshirt freshman Ron Smith. Let's see if he gets a hold of Gentry. Well, I think you could have easily called that pass interference. That right hand locked on the arm of Gentry. Got away with it.
The upside for Wyoming only takes a few seconds off the clock, but now it's 3rd and 10. Allen with a good pocket to throw it, and a little communication issue it looked like. C.J. Johnson and Jake Malhart were sort of both in the neighborhood, and Allen split the difference.
And again, you know, I think it's bringing that pressure. Rocky Long has decided to bring that pressure, and it just gets Josh Allen off his rhythm enough that he's been inaccurate. He's been second-guessing these throws, and it's been the difference.
So 3 incompletions and a holding call when all they need is a field goal to tie. 4th and 20. Allen, as the pocket collapses around him, Kyle Kelly will drop him at the 7. And that should seal the deal.
Another 5-man pressure from Rocky Long. He lives by it. This is in their DNA. And this time it's Kyle Kelly. It's been Munson. It's been Barrett. It's been a number of guys. And Rocky Long, you make that decision to go for it on 4th down, trusting. He'll tell you after this game, I guarantee you, when he talks to Todd McShay and Todd asks him, hey, why did you go for it on that 4th down? He's going to say, Todd, because I trusted my defense. We were going to come after them and get the stop we needed to win a championship.
I think he got away with one. That's what I think.
He's going to say, how dare you question my decision making.
Todd, you must ask that question, by the way.
Anything for you, Grease.
And the seconds will tick away.
What a win. What a win for Rocky Long. Back-to-back Mountain West Conference championships, and to do it coming off of the way they lost to Colorado State, giving up 63 points a week ago. Impressive, coming back here and avenging a loss from 2 weeks ago.
And with 80 California kids on the roster playing in these kind of temperatures, they were able to withstand and step up. This is how all championship games should go.
San Diego State 27, the Wyoming Cowboys 24.
San Diego State, they win consecutive conference titles for the first time in 42 years. And also for the first time have now won consecutive seasons of 10 victories as a Division I conference member. Coming up next, stay tuned for Sports Center. Bucci and John Anderson. And for exclusive live coverage of the Mountain West Football Championship Trophy, join us on ESPN3 in just a few minutes. So long for now from Laramie.